Hey, dance teacher, are you getting paid what you're worth? Yeah, probably not. I didn't either for a very, very long time. So let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation. You're not getting paid what you're worth, and you're worth a lot of money. So what do you do? Let's take a look at your classes. Let's see what's going on. Okay, first thing to ask yourself, number one, what's your retention rate? So look at your class, take one class and look at it last year and how many of those kids returned and how many dropped out. If you have a bunch of kids that have dropped out, that should be something for you to notice and improve upon, because when kids drop out, you're not as valuable to the studio owner. But when you can have a high retention rate, which means that your kids come back year after year, you don't have a lot of dropouts in the year and you have very minimal dropouts year to year, the majority of your students come back the next year, suddenly you become extremely valuable to the studio owner. Number two, what happens if a teacher right now came up to you and said, hey, what's my kid going to learn this year? What's your answer? If you don't have an answer to that question, chances are you're going into your classes and winging it. And this is all coming from love. I did the same thing. When we wing it, teachers, we are not showing true growth and progression. We are possibly spending a month and a half doing marches in our dance class. That's not fun for anybody. We need to know what it is we're teaching in our year. We need to sit down and say, okay, here are the 7 to 10 elements that my students are going to learn if it's not already being provided to us. And we need to ensure that. So when a parent says, what are they working on this year? You can look them straight in the face and you can say, this year we're working on pivot turns and we're working on chassé pas de bourrée and we're working on chassé ball change in a box and we are working on our single pirouette prep. Suddenly you have a goal in mind and you have something that you're moving towards and you can answer that question with confidence. What does that mean then? That means that your kids are really learning. Your rec kids are actually building technique. They're actually learning elements that you're going to put in your recital dance. And what happens when kids learn elements? They're excited to ding, 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 back to the first one, come back. And when students come back year after year and your classes are full, guess what? Suddenly you become incredibly valuable. All the kids want to be in your class because when they're in your rec class, they really learn dance. They become better year to year. And number three, if you're not getting results, if things aren't happening in your class, what is your gut reaction? If I come up to you and I say, what's going on? Why are your kids not, getting their single pirouette? And if your answer, and this is coming from a place of love, but if your gut answer, your gut instinct is to blame them and say, well, they're just not listening. Well, they're just not that focused. Well, they're not really great dancers. I don't know. Notice that, become aware of that, because that's externalizing your results. And when you externalize your results, they're out of control. I know no one wants to go, yeah, you're right. They can't do their single pirouettes. It's all my fault. I'm a terrible teacher. I'm not telling you to say that. I'm not telling you to think that. But what I'm telling you is that if you say, why aren't they getting their single pirouettes? Be curious about it, because when you're curious about it, then you bring it into yourself as something you can help with. Are they not getting their single pirouettes because they're not doing enough releves? Are they not balancing on one foot enough? Do they need to do more core strength exercises? Do they understand about squaring their body up at the end of each turn? Are you putting them straight into the pirouette or are you doing quarter turns? Do they have too big of a prep? There are so many reasons why they might not be getting an element. And if you just say, oh, they're terrible listeners, nobody wins. But if you say, why aren't they? What else could I be doing to help clear this up for them? Suddenly you take your power back. And when you take your power back and you get curious about why they're not getting things, bam, you start to get answers that you can then take into your class. And guess what happens? Your kids start getting their single pirouettes, your rec dancers. And that's a big deal in the rec dance world. And again, if they're getting their single pirouettes, they want to be in your class. Your classes are full and kids come back year to year. And suddenly, you're extremely valuable to your studio owner. They see that you get results. They see that you build connection and trust. They see that you are an asset and they do not want to lose you. And guess what happens then? The conversation about getting paid what you're worth becomes way easier. You give them no reason to tell you anything, but all they can tell you is yes, because you've done all these things. And so, if you're looking for more help with this, and I invite you to come join our free school dance teacher community. It is a community that is totally free, where we come in and I help you find your worth and have tips and tools on how to teach elements that really resonate for the once a week recreational dancer, how to build connection with your students, how to have retention, how to have recital dances that pop, how to, reverse engineer your dance year. Come on into that community and check it out with us. And if you want to go further, then be sure to check out jazztapclass.com. It is the syllabus designed for once a week recreational dancers. It is the syllabus where I don't just give you a list of what to teach in the year. I break it down class by class for you with done for you weekly lesson plans with corresponding videos. And then guess what? I take all the guesswork out. You just go, you get your weekly class plan, you take a look at the videos, you go teach it. You're going to achieve all of those things that are going to make you worth every penny that you ask your studio owner for. See you soon.